on to Councillor Ainsley.
Thank you, Veronica. Good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here. My name is Paul Ainsley. I'm the City Councillor for this ward, which is officially known as Ward 24 Scarborough-Guildwood, but is also fondly my home. And it's a great pleasure to be here as somebody that's born and raised in this community in Eastern Scarborough. In 2021, I hosted a community meeting with the residents of the Cornell community to deal with some concerns that were brought to my attention around community safety and programming in the area. And we've done a lot of work since then to help address the needs of everybody in the Cornell community. I've been working alongside with Cornell resident leaders, 43 Division, city staff from our Parks and Recreation Department, and a number of different departments to address those concerns. And with us tonight, we have members from Toronto Police Service 43 Division, the City of Toronto Cross Community Violence Intervention Initiative, Parks and Recreation staff, members from our Community Crisis Response Team, and Friends of the Cornell Park. Each division is going to be providing an update on the initiatives in the community. From the City of Toronto's perspective, two of the things that I would like to just remind everybody about, two initiatives in Cornell Park that I'm working on is a splash pad. I would like to thank the community for speaking on the importance of adding a splash pad to Cornell Park. Most recently added the splash pad to the City of Toronto Capital Works budget as a project on our parks list. I've most recently met as well with Friends of Cornell Park Group to discuss the size and details of the park, of the splash pad, sorry. Friends of Cornell Park are going to be working with the City of Toronto's Partnership Office to fundraise in the community to subsidize some of the monies that I'll be bringing from the City of Toronto. The other project in Cornell Park that I've been working on is a request for lighting. Residents have brought to my attention the need for better lighting in Cornell Park to increase visibility and discourage some of the illegal activities that have been taking place later in the evening in Cornell Park and around the school. In conversations with staff and officers from 43 Division, it has been determined that the lights are warranted, and they were most recently approved in the city budget. I met with staff and community leaders recently to talk about the best place for the lights, what type of lighting was needed. So the city's now working on the design, cost, and implementation plan for the lights, and they should be installed in early 2023. Lastly, I would like to thank, I think it's Officer Rowe and Officer Gill, along with Mr. Bala, Yusuf Ingar, Hanifna Kuda, and the other resident volunteers that have made this meeting possible by helping to distribute flyers in the community. I really appreciate it and can't thank you enough for all of your assistance in that. And saying that, I want to thank everybody again for being here. And Veronica, I'm going to pass it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ainsley. So for this portion of today's town hall, we would like to present to you the Toronto Police, who will present their presentation on some of their updates that they have. And I would like to ask for Acting Superintendent Leanne Papazowski. Sorry. Thank you very much.
No problem.
And Detective Sergeant Jesse Van Ness to provide their presentation. We also have in attendance Staff Sergeant Nicholas Ney, Officer Alfred Sarita, Officer Amanda Frederick, Officer Julie Rowe, Officer Leanna Gill, and Officer Clayton White in attendance. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. So good evening, everyone. I'm Leanne Papazowski, and I'm the Acting Unit Commander right now at 43 Division. I'm filling in for Superintendent Ridzik while he's on temporary assignment over at our headquarters. Much like what Veronica said, with me today at this town hall meeting is Detective Sergeant Jesse Van Nest. He's our crime manager and he looks after all the investigations within our division and oversees them. Staff Sergeant Nicholas Nee, who is our community response manager who looks after the neighborhood community officers as well as the community response officers that are out every day in our neighborhood. And we have Leanna Gill and Julie Rowe, our crime prevention and our community response resource officer, as well as two officers that are very important to the Woburn community and Cornell community, which are Amanda Frederick and Alfred Sarita. So first of all, I'd like to thank Councillor Ansley and his team for once again hosting another town hall meeting for the community and inviting us at 43 Division to participate. These collaborative information sessions are a valuable tool for us to have open communication with the communities we serve. And we really appreciate the opportunity to give updates directly to the community on this forum. Much like, I know that Councillor Ainsley talked about being part of the community and living in the community. And I think each and every one of us clearly has a connection to this community. I lived on Markham Road when I was a child, went to Cornell Junior Public School. So coming back to 43 Division was a nice opportunity for me. So it's really important to listen to what the community has to say. And I thought that was great news from the councillor in regards to the splash pad and the new lighting. So another great win. But one of the wins that we want to talk about tonight is the CCTV cameras. And certainly he did mention our work together at the end of 2020 and early into 2021. The Cornell community experienced an elevated level of gun violence, and we responded as a police service with a policing plan that was dedicated resources within the community. Not only did we have 43 Division resources, but we had specialty units. And there was a request from our community members, and some of them are on this call here. Certainly, Scarborough Muslim Association was included, and other community faith leaders in regards to CCTV cameras. Councillor Ainsley and his team were instrumental in moving this forward. Part of the requirements to put CCTV cameras into a community is to look at the impact on the community and how the community feels about it. And by hosting those town hall meetings and by starting that petition that the councillor's office worked to prepare and distribute on behalf of the community, that helped us move forward. And there was a demonstrated keen interest from the community members for those cameras. So as a direct result, we were successful in obtaining three additional cameras for the division. The locations of the cameras are at Markham Road and Greencrest Circuit, Lawrence Avenue East and Scarborough Golf Club Road, and Scarborough Golf Club Road and Confederation Drive. And I have Leanna on the call here. She has an actual picture that we can put up for our community members so you can have an idea of what our CCTV cameras look like that were placed in the community. I think she can throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, I just need that permission to click last sharing.
You already have it. Go ahead, Liana. But I may.
Can we just make sure that it's on the computer version?
Yeah, the one that you're speaking, yes.
No, not the one I'm speaking on, the other.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Well, Leanna brings that up. They're fully signed, and the views are 360 degrees with a high definition. So there is only certain circumstances that we could actually access the video. And the purposes of these CCTV systems is to secure a safer environment for those who work and live and visit the area. detect and deter crime, and assist us in identification, apprehension, and prosecution of offenders when we find video evidence on there that could support our investigations, and provide material that can assist for future training of incident response. If there's a major incident that's caught on these cameras, that we can certainly go back and have a look at it. So this is a great win, certainly for us to be able to increase the amount, because not only does the service look at 43 division, but they look at the city as a whole, and there's only a certain amount that can go, a certain amount of cameras that can be distributed throughout the city. Also, it's good to note that we do have 2 additional cameras. One's at Markham Road and Eglinton Avenue, and the other one is Eglinton Avenue in McCowan. So I'm happy to report on that update. Also, if I look at some other things for the service with that directly affect the Woburn community, we are expanding our neighborhood community officer program. I'm happy to report that. Toronto Police Service currently has 178 officers in 38 of our city's 158 neighborhoods. This year, we have permission and we've worked our budget out to increase this program by 52 officers in 13 neighborhoods. It's not official yet, but I can say that it is looking very, very good for 43 division for us to have to solidify our neighborhood community officers and the program within the Woburn community. And like I said earlier, we have 2 of our officers. We're currently working under the model that Woburn is an official neighborhood community officer program, a recognized neighborhood, but that is going to come very shortly. We hope to redeploy the members for the 13 neighborhoods by June. And like I said, it's looking very, very good for 43 division, and we may actually have more than one neighborhood that's been approved of those 13. So, and then lastly, I'd like to recognize that we know that the holy month of Ramadan is fast approaching, and we want to wish all of our community members a safe, happy, and healthy Ramadan, and let you know that pass on the information that we've asked not only in 43 division, but across the service to pay special attention to all mosques and Islamic institutes during the holy month of Ramadan, and starting on April 1st. And we will be very visible and presence in the community. And I think that's it for me. Subject, I'll pass it over to Detective Sergeant Van Nest if there's anything that I missed.
I think we're just going to wait for that lovely picture that we took of the camera. Hopefully that works. And in the meantime, I can also just mention an update from a couple months ago. I know we had another meeting where we spoke with, there it is there. So as you can see, the sign below it just promotes what it is. And there's a camera. It is a 360-degree camera, and it should have a designation or a sticker on it that says it's a TPS for Toronto Police Service. And so, like I said, they will be functioning. They're in the, and they should be focused on the neighborhood as a whole in their main target. They can be moved around, but we have to be given authorization for that. So that just gives you an idea where they are. I think that's the one right at Markham and Greencrest Circuit. It's on the east side there, right by the library, the southwest corner there. So very happy to see that they've been installed. And I think we've done a very good job of covering the whole Cornell neighborhood from as much as possible. We have one in the southeast corner of the neighborhood, and we have one in the southeast, northeast, and then obviously the northwest. So very happy for that. I think it's also quickly just to mention, I'd like to give little updates about how things are going in the division and in the neighborhood as a whole. And I'm very happy to say that it's been a very manageable area for us for the last couple of months. I like, and I think it goes down to just obviously our continued efforts that we've made. I think we've done very well with our Woburn program as a whole in the short term, and I'm glad to see that has happened. So, but just to let the community members know that it has been a good couple of months. So, but any other questions for me or for the inspector, let us know. Just happy to be here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this new neighborhood.
And I can confirm that our cameras are actually up and operational. They have been tested and they are operational. And fingers crossed, we're very hopeful as we move forward to make it official, but it's looking very good. And I could probably pass it back over to Victoria.
Great. Thank you very much.
Veronica, I'm sorry, Veronica.
It's okay. Happens all the time. I want to thank our TPS partners for that update. It's great to hear all the amazing things that are happening in the community and for the community to build safety. For somebody who worked in community and worked very closely with the neighborhood officers when the program was first implemented many years ago. It's an amazing program. The neighborhood officers are amazing folks that really do mean to build relationships with community in order to support them better. So if you haven't met your neighborhood officer, I highly encourage you to make that connection. It's a great program and I'm so happy that it's being expanded. So thank you very much to our TPS partners. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next we're going to move on to a very special program that we wanted to highlight today. It is our Cross-Community Violence Intervention Initiative. The City of Toronto, the Youth Development Unit, so our unit, did partner with our friend Charanjit Singh over here, who will be our next presenter. Charanjit works at Scarborough Centre for Healthy Communities and partnered with us to deliver this cross-community violence intervention initiative. And Charanjit will now share his presentation. And please, if you want to ask questions, hold until our Q&A portion after the presentations. And Charanjit, I will pass it off to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Veronica. As Veronica mentioned, my name is Charanjit Singh. I'm the Community Health Teams Manager with Scarborough Centre for Healthy Communities. And I'm here to share a little bit about our cross-community violence intervention project that's taking place in Markham and Lawrence and the Thorncliffe Park area. So our team consists of a social worker and 2 youth outreach workers. Our social worker is Mohammed Zafar, and the 2 youth outreach workers are Abda Patel and Mohammed Bimat. Abda is focusing on the Markham and Lawrence area, while Bimat looks at Thorncliffe Park. So the program is in response to community needs, and SCHC is implementing this project to really address youth violence through prevention and intervention. The project is funded with the City of Toronto. This will be done through really enhancing services provided through local organizations while also providing culturally relevant supports and programming. What the project really offers is interactive programming for youth and their parents, one-on-one supports to help youth navigate to community resources and services, weekly programming for youth aged 14 to 18 in the Markham and Lawrence and Thorncliffe Park area, mental health and crisis supports for youth impacted by violence, bereavement, and trauma, and refreshments, volunteer hours, and other incentives. What's really critical about this program is that there's strong youth engagement component as well as mental health counseling in case of the youth are in need of that. So the weekly programming that the project is offering is called HYPE, and this program focuses on increasing youth capacity and welcoming youth voices and giving them a platform to share their thoughts, feelings, and collaboratively come together in a safe space to help them feel a stronger sense of community engagement and a greater sense of community belonging. So the HYPE program started in the fall of last year, and there's been a consistent group of youth ambassadors or community leaders and they've been really coming together and touch on areas of violence that they're experiencing in their community, share their thoughts, do initiatives, and really build a sense of community cohesion with their peers along with adult allies. A lot of the youth actually mentioned, they have a hard time leaving their homes and don't feel safe walking in the community. And this type of community programming is really refreshing to them. And so, that's some great feedback that we're hearing from our youth participants. One of the key milestones that we've had in October is really connecting with the community residents and, through virtual and in-person engagements to really understand what are the things that they'd like to have in the programming. In November, there were some community engagement initiatives to engage community members with our staff and our services. And in November, there was a social media account created to build greater awareness. And then so November, that's when the program started. In December, there was a few events and initiatives like a job fair that happened in the Thorncliffe area. And then also part of the program is to really have ongoing feedback and evaluation. And so far, the youth have been really saying that the program is really to their liking. So some of the plans that we have are around community partnerships, ensuring that we're building good synergies. We recognize, silo work is not the way to build community. So we're really ensuring that we're establishing and fostering good relationships. Introduction of virtual programming when needed, ensuring that we're engaging with families of youth participants, and just recognizing that youth have, natural networks, social networks, and that we're being client and family centered, and as well as connecting with recreational programming. We already noticed that both communities have strong community programs, and we really want to build good synergies with them and build on those strengths. I also wanted just to acknowledge that a lot of the community residents, as well as the council's office, did a lot of advocacy to secure this funding with the city of Toronto. So I just really want to acknowledge all of their time, energy, and efforts to making this a success. So that's it for my presentation. Thank you. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask them. I'll pass it to you, Veronica.
Thank you, Charanjeet. I want to thank you and your team for all the work that you've done over the last few months to get this program started. It really did come from community and the community identifying that there was a need to deal with some of the cross-community violence issues that were happening between Thorncliffe and Markham and Lawrence. So to have this come to fruition and to have your leadership on this and having the feedback be so positive so far, I think is a testament to the work that you and your team are doing. We were very excited to secure a social worker as part of the program to ensure that the young people involved in the program are fully supported in the way that they need, and really culturally relevant supports, I think is one of the best pieces about this entire initiative. So thank you all for the work that you do, and thank you for presenting today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we are going to move on to our next presenters, City of Toronto's Parks, Forestry and Recreation. And today we will be hearing from Mike Rajaram, Abel Tesfaldet, and Jacqueline Chand. Abel, please forgive me if I mangled your name and correct me if I needed correction. And with that, I will leave it to Jacqueline to do the presentation. Thank you.
Hi, Veronica. It's Mike Roger. I'll start.
It's Mike.
Yes, it's Mike. Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that, Mike.
That's okay.
Thank you.
That's okay. So my name is Mike Roger. I'm the Community Recreation Programmer at Cedarbrook, CC, with the City of Toronto Parks, Forestry and Recreation out of Markham and the Lawrence area, right behind the Cedarbrook High School. And I'm also responsible for the programming at Cornell. Next slide, please.
I'm sorry, give me a minute here. I'm having a little bit of a tech difficulties.
No worries.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
So we have recently expanded our drop-in program at Cornell JPS for the spring session, which will start on Saturday, April the 9th. And as you can see, we have the programs on Saturday morning and the co-ed on Sunday mornings. So Saturday morning, we have programs at Cornell for the younger age, 9 to 12 age group, and that will start at 9:15 to 11:30 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And then we have the older youth, 13 to 19, from 11:45 to 1:45 p.m. on Saturdays. And then Sunday again, we have the co-ed boys and girls youth drop-in programs at Cornell. Cedarbrook, we've got the youth registered program. Again, the registered program will start the spring session on Monday, April the 4th is when all our registered program will start. So if it's a Monday program, it's starting Monday the 4th. A Tuesday program will start on Tuesday the 5th and onwards. So we've got the youth registered drop-in, the registered program and the photography program on Sundays. We've got drawing, we've got science, we've got a babysitting course, we got the yoga for the 13 plus, we've got yoga for 13 plus again on Wednesday, family yoga, dance fusion, dance hip hop, and dance hip hop again on a Monday and a Friday. So we've got a lot of the youth drop-in programs starting on Monday, April the 4th, the week, which is next Monday. And here are some additional drop-in programs that we offer at Cedarbrook. So we've got the youth space, basically where the youth will be able to come in after school from 3:30 to 6:30, where they're able to drop in and do homework, hang out with friends, play video games, access to our equipment. We've got a large TV unit in there. We've got a table tennis equipments, and then we've got a variety of board games where the youth will be able to access and hang out and play their games. We've got chess. We have youth night on Friday night, for example, where it's a special every Friday night that they do different activities. And then the youth council, that where the youth have the opportunity to develop valuable experience by participating in week-to-week planning for youth initiatives in the community. And Abel, who will speak after, will touch on that shortly. And, oh, sorry, one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Volunteers, opportunities, volunteer roles coming soon, where youth in our community will be able to attend an orientation session. And from there on, we'll be able to support our community events and support events within the Cornell community. So we're really excited to get the volunteer initiative up and running again. We anticipate that we'll have 2 sessions in the month of April, so more info to come on that. Thank you, Veronica. I'll pass it over to Abel.
Hi, yeah, so Veronica, no, it's rare people get my last name correct on the first try, so you actually got it, so don't worry. Yeah, so my name is Abel. I'm the youth outreach worker for the Cedarbrook Cornell area and Centennial Woburn. So as it's affected everyone, with the closings and openings, it's been tough to get things going in terms of it being in person. But what we've been doing is the Cedarbrook Youth Council has been hosting virtual events So they would plan things like movie nights, um, games nights. We planned some resume workshops um, in partnerships with within our own other city organizations. Um, so yeah, as Mike said, we meet every Friday during youth night. The youth council meets just outside the room. And honestly, it's a great way to build capacity for the youth, right? To be on a council. They get to advocate for the youth in their area. They get to plan events. It makes them feel not feel, and they are more involved, and it gives them things to do, right? So um, there isn't much to update right now in terms of uh, upcoming events. Come Southeast Asian Heritage Month and the first Youth Week, we'll have some more events. So yeah, that's about it on my end. Thank you. I believe Jacqueline, you're next.
Yep, it's me. I actually just want to share one quick piece of information that came in earlier this afternoon. So Friday, April the 8th, 12 to 1:30, we're going to be having like a registration info session held at Centennial. So we have Cass, who is awesome. She's going to be coming in and she's our recreation liaison and just kind of walking people through the steps and how to get registered and set up accounts and just access community programs. And it's our first session that we're hosting or that she's hosting after quite some time due to COVID. So feel free to stop by between 12 and 1:30 at Centennial, Friday, April 8th, and just to have someone kind of guide you through getting yourself set up for some programs. We do have our registration for our summer session April 12th, and we do have some free summer camps and some paid spaces. And it'll just be a great opportunity to get in early and obtain a spot and have a fun week at camp. And then I'm just going to kind of go through some of the foundational things in regards to how we access community recreation. So we just want to ensure that, it gives community an advantage if they have an account prior to looking at a program or coming on the first day. So if you set up an account prior to in person or online or give our customer service representatives a ring, they'll be able to set up your account for you. And then you'll have a family number and a barcode, and then you're able to register for programs in person, online, or giving us a call. So that's something to be mindful of. And I always advise clients to save that information on their notepad in their phone or something like that, because it's something that you want to be able to access quickly and just get into a program, especially when they're free and they're starting to fill up pretty quickly now that we're open, and we're all very excited for that. And then we're just going to kind of go over how to rent space in our facilities. So there are two main streams that we see people looking to obtain space, and either that's a one-time booking or it's a seasonal application. So if it's a one-time booking, it's just one application form that you have to submit for a birthday party or a meeting. A seasonal permit generally goes on for the season, and most of the time when we see seasonal permits, they are attached to an organization. So we do ask organizations to provide some additional documents, which is just collected once a year. We keep on file, and we also put a note on the account saying when we receive the information so that you're not repeating the cycle if you do try to access space in another community center. So pretty much some of the things we'll look for is a membership list. This also helps us narrow down if people who are accessing the permit live within the 5 kilometers of the community center, which does impact the way that the booking is built. If you are a registered non-for-profit or a charitable number, we do ask for that because it does also, again, impact the booking. And documentation related to any volunteer executives, and your bylaws and financial statements and insurance, depending on the level of engagement and risk that you're going to be taking when you're accessing some of our space, such as like ice, it's pretty high risk, or rugby. So that's something to just keep in mind when you do want to book a space in our centers. And again, just kind of talking about how we build our programming. You can see that it takes about 3 months in advance of a season. So when we're going to be looking at fall within the next month or two to start building for our fall programming. And that entails, ensuring our budget is there, the space is secured, and the supplies are going to be ordered. And then that simultaneously is also re-engaging our staff and recruitment, and then setting up our trainings to equip them with the tools that they need to support community once they start running their programs. And then also when we want to look to our TDSB locations, these also are running simultaneously to us building our programming in the system and then acquiring the space in TDSB. So there's a lot of streams running all at the same time when we're building programming. So the earlier that we are able to kind of narrow down some of the things that we like to offer in community, the easier it is for us to start building, so we're not overwhelmed in that time period. And then again, it also brings me back to creating new programs. I think the city has a lot of really great ideas and a lot of really interesting people that are building programming, but I always think there's always room for expanding more into what it is that is the emerging needs in our community centers. So I think it's important to take that feedback and start to curate some of the programs that we're going to be offering that might be a little bit more tailored to the emerging trends in our communities and just the way that life is flowing for us, especially after we're emerging from the pandemic and we're starting to see better days ahead, and if not now. So, I think we're always open to kind of hearing and trying to understand how we can build programming that would be best suited for our residents. And then I'm sorry. Oh, we just went all the way to the beginning. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. And then, yeah, I just wanted to include our contact information and just our names and leave the space open for any feedback if we're doing that now or if we're going to hold off at the end of the presentation. But that's all we got, folks. So I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline, Mike, and Abel. We appreciate all the work that PF&R folks do, having so many different recreation programs available to the community, different age ranges is amazing. Providing the information on how folks can register, I think, was very helpful to the community members that are here today. So just to reiterate, if you haven't created your account yet, please do. Go to Centennial on April 8th for that information session, see what's available, see what programs and services your children would like to take part in, and register them. It's always great to have free programming, so if you can get in early, please do. And I just want to thank all the work of our PF&R partners as well, so thank you very much. Our next presenters are coming from our Social Development, Finance, and Administration Division, our Community Crisis Response Program. And for today's presentation, I will pass it on to Tipika Balakrishnan and Kevin Bourne from CCRP, and they can now introduce themselves and their roles in the CCRP program. Thank you.
I can go first. My name is Kevin Bourne. I am currently the acting supervisor of the Community Crisis Response Program. And I'll pass it to my colleague, Pika, who covers this current ward and neighborhood.
Thanks, Kevin, and thanks, Veronica. Hi, everyone. I see some familiar faces. Thank you so much for having me. And my name is Tipika, and I cover Scarborough for the Community Crisis Response Program with the City of Toronto. Instead of staring at my face, I was thinking we can go over some slides to kind of cover some of the stuff that I want to talk about. So if you kindly be patient, give me a second. Can folks see everything? We're good? Okay, awesome. So We are just going to go over some of the ways that the Community Crisis Response Program has responded to incidents, community safety, and well-being for this particular ward. Of course, Cornell is an amazing community, but when we look at a lot of our data, we're looking at Woburn, which Cornell is part of, and then the broader aspect of it, which is Ward 24. So from our ends, just like how 43 Division shared with us, CCRP has responded to 201 critical incidents in Ward 24 since 2017, right? And that's just within our ward. But as you can see from the chart below, a lot of things were rising, but given some of the programs, a lot of the coordinations that we've done, I really hope as a community, we've been able to decrease a lot of the incidents that have happened. So since 2019 with the pandemic, a lot of incidents have decreased since then, in Ward 24 particularly. I just wanted to show you all a graph that kind of highlights the fact that there's a decrease, especially when we're responding to critical incidents. So with our program, we particularly respond to anything pertaining to community violence, which includes stabbing, shootings, shots fired, homicides. And from this graph, we can see that since 2017, we've seen a drastic decrease in our incidents within this ward. And with Woburn in particular within our ward, there's we started off with 12 in 2017, and it started getting a little bit more present in 2019 and 2020, and then we are seeing a decrease in incidents. Now with Cornell, like Staff Sergeant Van Ness said, I hope that's his right designation. Like he said, we haven't seen as many incidents in Cornell. It's been very manageable. And it's been great to see a lot of community feedback. We've been seeing a lot of folks coming together, and it's been really great to see partner coordination, and also the fact that there hasn't been as many incidents as compared to in previous years. So it's been really great to highlight how safe our community is in Cornell and in broader sense Woburn. So on top of responding to crisis response programs, mandates with incidents, CCRP has a Community Crisis Response Fund where community residents and partners can apply for grants ranging from $3,000 to $5,000 as financial assistance for communities impacted by community violence and traumatic incidents. And when they use this grant, a lot of community members in Woburn particularly and in Cornell have used this to advance community safety and well-being initiatives such as movie nights or any kind of sports initiatives and stuff like that. So till this date, the Community Crisis Response Fund has provided $20,250 through 7 grants to support community healing capacity. And the best part of that, if you can see below at the bottom of my slide, is that $11,900 went towards that in 1 year. Right, which shows that the community is really coming together. Residents are taking response, taking the fact that we want to show you what community safety well-being is all about from our end, right? Which is an incredible stand for our residents, and that's really brought everyone to build a lot of capacity, and also for them to guide us as partners what we can do better as service providers. I'm going to stop sharing. So with the Community Crisis Response Fund and a lot of the incidents that we were responding to, we also collaborated with the Youth Development Unit and with Charanjit to bring in the pilot that was previously shown, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from that as well. We've also been working towards a safety initiative in collaboration with Kickback Connect, a smaller nonprofit that has been working with us to support vulnerable youth in Green Bay and Markham and Lawrence, and addressing to them how sports relates to youth engagement and youth violence prevention. So it's been really great because we've been able to bring in a lot of initiatives and programming into our community. So it doesn't seem like a lot of our stuff are responsive, right? We don't want to come off like we're always reacting to a lot of stuff. We want to be very proactive with the residents after hearing all their feedback. So it's been really great to see a lot of that movement and seeing a lot of the partners coordinate. I know I've been talking really fast because I wanted to give you a lot of information in this short time we have. But does anyone have any other questions? Are we good? Okay, awesome. I'll pass it to you, V. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Topeka and Kevin. The Community Crisis Response Program really does have a very difficult job in responding to incidences of violence and working with community members and providing them the resources and services that they need following a critical incident of violence. So I just want to thank the CCRP team for all of their hard work and for the community for stepping in and actually applying for these community grants. They are so critical for the community to support their own healing and resiliency. So it's amazing that, that much money has gone to this community in the CCRF funds. And it just speaks to the collaboration of each of the residents who are putting forward these applications and wanting to do work to heal their own community. So I want to thank the community members that have taken part in the CCRFs and have been involved in some of the incident responses, because it is very difficult to support families who have been impacted by violence. So I just want to thank everyone for that. Last but not least, I don't see our next presenter in our panel, but I do want to ask if Yusuf Lokat is available, who is a lead of Friends of Cornell Park. Yusuf, if you are in the audience right now, can you please raise your hand? If you're on the phone, you can press *3 and we will have you unmuted in order to present for Friends of Cornell Park.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Excellent.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, everyone that's here. So I'll start off my look at part of Friends of Cornell Park. And big thank you and acknowledgement to everyone that's helped so far. Pauline's office, everyone else that's helped us getting us familiar with all the programs and access to facilities, etc. It's been very helpful. We appreciate it. We are trying to initiate further programs aside from the splash pad and I guess some of the lighting that we're part of. We have the Toronto cleanup program coming April 22nd, 24th. We do have some initiatives be posted on our social media. So I'd recommend everyone follow our social media that's currently up now, Friends of Cornell Park. Our future programs and events will be posted on there. We are working in terms of funding and additional improvement of volunteers as we expand. It's been overwhelming. We appreciate everyone's support. And we are looking for additional volunteers to move further on our ventures. We do have an email if there are any questions or concerns, you can always email us at markhamlawrencecommunity@gmail.com. We'll put in our chat box here. And keep posted in our social media for summer events, barbecues, movie nights, and we are working with other organizations to bring events to the park. So I hope we can all work together to a better future and a safer community. Thank you, Veronica. I will pass it back. We don't have too much on our plate now. We're just looking towards setting up the social media pages and keep posted for our events at the park in the summer.
Great. Thank you, Yusuf. So Friends of Cornell Park is actually a new group, and they have, started off with a bang and started already working in the community and doing some initiatives. So if you haven't heard of them, please follow them on their IG account, which Yusuf provided. Get to know them, jump in and, start volunteering with them. And, I'm sure Yusuf will welcome more community members supporting the initiatives that they have. And it's always great to see that community members themselves start grassroots groups and do that work with the community in collaboration with all of the partners here that we have at the table today. And I just want to thank everyone who's presented, all of the hard work that's being done to support Markham and Lawrence. you know, a vibrant community that really does want better and want to see more safety, more initiatives, programs, supports, resources, and that's what we're here to do. And through the leadership of your counselor, Counselor Ainsley, we are doing that, and we hope to do more. So with that, I think we're ready to open up for the Q&A. I will pass it off to Ashma Patel from the counselor's office, who will be your moderator for this portion of today's program. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Really appreciate. And thank you everyone for sharing and presenting all the great initiatives and programs and resources in the Cornell community. We have recorded this session, so to view this, you can we will be sharing it on our website, which is www.paulainsley.com, and it will be available starting tomorrow. Now I will just open up to the community. If there are any questions, please go ahead. You can raise your hand.
Actually, I have one question. If it's not, I know I'm not the community, but I will ask the question. Yusuf, are you only on Instagram or are you on other social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter for us to follow?
We do have an account. We don't have much postings at the moment. We also have TikTok if you're into TikTok, but
Yes.
we'll be posting very shortly.
Isn't everyone?
Yeah, so we'll be posting very shortly. I'll share the email, all the socials with you, with your email directly.
Perfect. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Leanne. It seems like we don't have any questions. I will pass it to.
Actually, sorry,
Yeah.
no, same. I'm also not a member of the community, but
Go ahead,
Abel
Abel.
again.
Yeah, for sure.
No, there was also one more entity in the Markham Lawrence area I wanted to give a shout out to, and hopefully next time, if they're available, they could join. His name is Swabir. He was the former head of security at Cedarbrook Mall. He has a non-for-profit called The Good Guides. Similar to Yusuf and Friends of Cornell, they just do a lot of good work in the Cornell community. Last week, they held just a quick little, it was supposed to be outside, but you guys know how the March weather is. We held it inside at Cedarbrook, like a basketball, like NBA 2K, little tournament, food, just to kind of get him more, I guess, integrated within the community. He's been doing this for a long time, but now he's just starting to dedicate more time towards it. So yeah, they're called the Good Guides. So the good and then guides. I believe that's their Instagram handle as well.
Thank you, Abel, and I will definitely pass it to Yusuf as well, the information.
Beautiful, thank you.
Okay, Councillor Ainsley, I'll pass it on to you for closing remarks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ashma. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody being here this evening, for logging in. I know to the residents for caring so much about your community. I always appreciate feedback and input. It makes my job as your city councillor so much easier when I can understand the needs of the community, and when I know your voices and support is behind me. It makes it much easier as well for me to advocate for better services for our community at City Hall. So I want to thank everybody, all of the panelists and the participants this evening. I can't thank you enough for all of your hard work and dedication, not only for the Cornell community, but for the community right across Scarborough. I can't thank you enough. Veronica, I want to thank you for hosting this evening. As always, you do an amazing job, and I want to thank you not just for your hosting work, but all of your work with social services. It's really appreciated, and I know it's appreciated as well by my community. And I also want to take this opportunity, as we're hopefully coming closer to a resolution with COVID. I do want to encourage everybody, if you don't have your first, second, third booster, please go and get them. There's lots of opportunity for it. Don't be embarrassed if you haven't gotten them yet. but I can tell you, as somebody that sits on the Board of Health for Toronto Public Health, that we see statistics for people that are in the hospitals all the time on a weekly basis, in particular ICU, and the people that have not been vaccinated make up the vast majority of the people that are in ICU. Getting your vaccines, it's not a cure-all that's going to keep you from getting COVID, but it certainly will lessen the effects of COVID. And so I encourage everybody, please get all of your shots and help protect your families, your friends, and your neighbors. And once again, thank you for everybody for being here this evening. I appreciate everybody's hard work and dedication. I can't thank you enough. And I hope you and your families remain safe and well, and have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ainsley.
Thank you.
I'm stopping the recording now.